Okay, so now I'm going to start my seminar. Okay, so today the title of my webinar is Importance and Applications of Value Engineering in Industries. So you can note down my email ID. So if in case any doubt or something like that, you can approach me. So my email ID is p.arjunraj@gmail.com. Okay, so many of the time the question arises why we are here today. So even though you are from an academic institute, so at the end of the day, so you need to increase the value that you can provide to the clients and the customers. So always value matters everywhere. So we need to provide the value without any compromise on the performance, quality, reliability, maintainability, safety, and environmental norms. So we need to ensure that we are going to provide a value to the customers or the clients without any compromise on these factors. Okay, so when I say value, it is nothing but a value methodology. So, so how I can define the value methodology? Okay, so value methodology is defined as the systematic process which is being used by the multidisciplinary team in a company. So multidisciplinary team indicates the team from design, development, testing, purchase, quality, sourcing, etc. So they form a team in a company to improve the value of a project, product, or process through the analysis of the functions and resources. So throughout the process, they use analysis of functions and they also use the analysis of resources to achieve value methodology. And this value methodology process also uses the technique that enable teams to provide the highest value for the particular product or project or process to serve the customer. So you might be knowing the term called value analysis and value engineering. So this value methodology is dealing with these two aspects. Okay. So what is called value analysis? So when I'm applying the value methodology process to the existing applications, such as the manufacturing goods or project, then it is called value analysis. So for example, if I'm doing any value methodology uh, for the existing product, it can be a laptop or it can be a television or it can be some parts in an automobile or it can be any part which is already existing, and if you're doing value methodology for the existing product or a process or a project, then that is called as value analysis. So value engineering is nothing but you are going to apply the value methodology for a new product, projects, and process. Okay, so if in case if I want to launch the car in the year 2021, and if I want to launch the product of TV or a refrigeration or air conditioning, or they want to construct a new house year 2021. So I need to apply this value methodology for the new projects or process or product. Then I can say that is coming under a value engineering. So in short, I can say value methodology in VM and value engineering as VE and value analysis as VA. And all these three terms can be used interchangeably with a term called value methodology. Okay. So this value methodology as a whole is not a cost cutting exercise. Okay, many would have been taught that this value methodology is mostly of a cost reduction, and it is not like that. And it's not also the quality reduction. In fact, we also try to increase the quality through the approach of value methodology. And value methodology is not a process that can be applied without the top management support. So here, as a whole, what you need to understand is that value methodology is a process to identify the unnecessary cost. So if you find something unnecessary for a particular product, then you can apply this value methodology. And this value methodology will also help to identify the potential performance improvements. And this value methodology will also help to achieve the quality, reliability, life cycle cost. So life cycle cost is nothing but the overall costs which are required to achieve a particular product or process or project. So life cycle cost indicates labor cost, material cost, can be direct labor or indirect labor or direct material or indirect material, overhead cost, manufacturing cost, and all this cost comes put together in the term called life cycle cost. And you should ensure that all these factors is not going to meet, it's not going to exceed, it's going to meet the customer expectation or it's going to exceed the customer expectation. So for that we need to use the value methodology process. Okay, so what I will do is that I will give some examples where this value methodology approach is being applied in automobile sector. Okay, so I also give some of the case studies related to some of the automobile application as well. So this value methodology or value engineering or value analysis can be applied in many OEMs, which indicates the manufacturer of light duty, heavy duty, and off highway. So tier one companies as well it can be applied. So tier one company is the one who is supplying the parts to the OEM. For example, brake manufacturing company, or a tire manufacturing company, or a seat manufacturing company, engine manufacturing company, transmission manufacturing company. So you can take anything for that matter. Uh, and the tier two companies is the one who is supplying the parts to the tier one, and in fact, this tier one will supply to the OEM. So, and this, you can also apply this value methodology in some of the service centers, public sector companies, and also in government companies. And you can apply this value methodology in some of the startup business as well. So nowadays, most of the startup are going to happen, or it's happening with respect to the electric vehicle. So you can apply this value engineering, basically those things as well. And this value methodology can also be applied in some of the research organization, like ISRO, DRDO, whatever it is. And I have given some of the example with respect to this automobile alone. Having said that, the example of value automobile alone, it doesn't mean that this value methodology is applied only in the field of automobile. So this value engineering or a value methodology or a value analysis can be applied in any industry, in any sector, not restricted only to the automobile. Okay, so other aspects where exactly we can apply this value methodology in respect to automobile. So we can apply this value methodology in the case of alternative source of energy. So you have a lot of different type of energy alternatives with respect to the vehicle is concerned. So say for example CNG, LPG, biodiesel, ethanol based fuel, and hydrogen fuel cells. You have a lot of alternate source of energy, so you can apply those things there. And now the very important thing is the emission reduction technology. Now you might be knowing India is going with BS6 from April 2020. So though the government are given some of the relaxation, so here what we need to look is this value methodology can be applied in the emission reduction technology. So you know that the cost of the diesel is already higher than that of the petrol uh, because of this BS6 norms is concerned. Uh, and you might be knowing the emission to reduce emission and to achieve BS6, you need to go for after treatment technologies. That will also add additional cost. So you can apply this value methodology such a way you can bring the improvement with respect to the function point of view. And you can this value methodology can also be applied in other sectors in an automobile like hybrid technologies, vehicle safety, electric vehicle technologies, hard stop. It's kind of micro hybrid application, and even you can apply this in regeneration technologies as well. And nowadays, most of the things are happening with respect to weight reduction technologies and vehicle comfort and alternate materials, the vehicle dynamics, automotive transmission, even autonomous and driverless car technologies also is upcoming in India and even in across the globe. So here, what you need to look is you can apply this value methodology where you can bring down not only the cost but also the function or the reliability performance can be improved. through this value methodology. And electrical electronics of an automobile can apply this, and also vehicle frame and chassis and also body structure. Okay, so this value methodology, going back to the history, uh, so I have taken more examples towards automobile because uh, most of the jobs for a mechanical will be related to automobile, or it can be related to aerospace, or it can be related to some of the energy related companies. So having the research says that almost 60 percentage of the people either they get placed either in automobile companies, like it can be OEM or it can be their own companies. So that's why I given more of the example with respect to automobile, and it is not only applicable only to automobile sector as well, but it's also cover other sector like chemical, even electrical electronics. So even nowadays, software companies do use this value methodology approach. Yes, they want to develop the software with such a way with lesser cost without affecting the functions. So okay, so coming back to the history of this value methodology, so the father of value methodology is LD Miles or Lawrence D. Miles. So according to him, the customer wants a function. Okay, so the customer buying the product considering the function, not things. Okay, so he began his career in the earlier 1940s when he was working in a company called General Electric. So according to him, the analysis of function is very important for any product or any project or any process, so that the customer can get what he really wants. So customer really wants a function. So and again, he considered this function analysis as the heart of this value methodology, and he is therefore called as the father of value analysis. Okay, so in the name of AD Miles, there is the website called Miles Value Foundation. Uh, I'll show you the website. Okay, so this is the Miles Value Foundation website. So this you can get the details about the website. And recently, in the year in June 2020, I mean last month, I have been appointed as education committee member for this Miles Valley Foundation. Uh, so, and you can also get some of the tutorials, videos with the help of the website what I have been showing, and you can get some of the e-learning and some of the publication details, and you can get some of the functions. So I told this value methodology is all dealing with respect to functions, so you can get some of the details with respect to the functions. So you get a complete database of the function here. Uh, so suppose if you are looking for a function, what is the function of a television? Okay, so, so you can type not available. So suppose uh, type the function that you are looking for. So I am typing the laptop. So the laptop is not available. Maybe I can give the television, telephone. Okay, telephone or television. So okay, the function of a telephone is to communicate information. This is the basic in function, and the secondary function indicates to identify the caller or to redial the number. So for it, you can give any example. Okay, so the vehicle, I can give the example of vehicle or some of the things which are already available like ventilator. So what is the function of a ventilator? The ventilator function is to release heat and to direct flow. These are the basic function, and the secondary function indicates to exclude weather, ventilate space, and circulate air. You can get a lot of things in the website. Okay, and you can get some of the news, what's happening, recent trends with respect to the value methodology. You can get all these details in Miles Valley Foundation. Okay. So the next important website is the Society of American Value Engineering. It's nothing but the SAVE International. This SAVE International started in the year 1959, and it is also spread across many different countries, almost 40 countries. And the objective is also to increase the members and also to increase the awareness about this value engineering to the professions, which indicates academic and also industries. So you can also type this Save International website, and you can get the details about the Save International, and you can get the details about the how what is the power of this value methodology. And if in case you want to become a member, you can get the details, and you can also get the details about the organization structure, and you can get some of the documents is like some of the case studies, some of the manuals also you will get it, some standards you can get it, and you also get some of the details with respect to the certifications like certified value specialist, associate value specialist, or value methodology associate. These are some of the certifications that you can even that the students they can undergo. Uh, you can go to all those things here, and you get some of the e-learning portals. So you can get some of the free videos for your learning purpose as well, and you can also get some of the details about the conferences also. Okay, so the next important thing is the Indian Value Engineering Society, which is nothing but Invest. So this started in October 1977, and it is affiliated to Society of American Value Engineering in the year 1995. And the main objective is to look for the promotion, advocacy, certification, and education. So the normality will base activities for the benefit of industries, academics, academia, and also professional society in India. So it is supported by four zones: north, east, south, and west, and it is having 8 chapters. Okay, so I will tell something about the Indian Value Engineering Society as well. So here, this is operating in India. So you can get the details about this Indian Value Engineering Society. Even the students can become a member. The membership fees is just 100 rupees, 100 rupees per year, and registration is almost 200 rupees per student. And if the person is working in some companies, then they can also become a life member or annual as well. So and here you can get lot of material with respect to value engineering, what is called value engineering. So how much cash you can save or how much money you can save using this value engineering in a company. And you can also get some of the details about some case studies as well. You can get it here. So, and these are some of the certification, some of the certified value specialists who are present in India. So I am one among 14 in India. This is the highest level of certification called certified value specialist. Uh, and you can get some of the details about the value engineering, and you can get some of the details about the books as well. What are the different type of books that is there related to value engineering? And this very important thing called InWave journal. So every 3 months, once this India Value Engineering Society is releasing this journal. So you can get access to this through this website, and you can read the articles, some case studies. Even you can also publish some of the things in this journal. I request you to look into the Indian Value Engineering Society website, Society of American Value Engineering, and also Miles Valley Foundation. So of all, this Indian Value Engineering Society will also help the students to become a member, and you can also look get some of the benefit. Even in Miles Valley Foundation, you also get Uh, you also get some of the education outreach program as well. So you can where some of the companies is helping the academia, and even the academia can become uh, contract. They can sign on a contract with the Miles Valley Foundation. You can put an MOU basically, and this MOU will help the particular college to go for some of the training related to the associate value specialists. Some of the training program like courses the Miles Valley Foundation is helping the academia, students and staffs with free of cost, and they also provide some of the monetary benefit. Okay, so when you find time, I request everyone to look into the websites. So now I'll go with the topic. Okay, so why we need to use this value methodology? We need to use this value methodology basically to save time, to save money, to build a teamwork. As you said, it's a cross-functional team. You need to build a teamwork. You also need to improve the quality, and also you need to satisfy the customer. Okay, so you have different type of value, basically the political value, social value, economic value, religious value, judicial value, etc. So as far as this engineering is concerned, economic value is playing a vital role. So, and again, this economic value is divided into four type of value. One is called cost value, exchange value, esteem value, and use value. So, what is called cost value? So, if I am buying the vehicle for 6 lakh rupee, I need to see the customer have to see whether the particular vehicle is having cost value of 6 lakh rupee or not. And what is called exchange value. So, exchange value is the one. So, if you are exchanging a particular vehicle, so whether the customer is having the exchange value for a particular vehicle or not. So, and the esteem value. So, whether this esteem value may not be applicable for all the product, but um, so and again when you're going for Benz, Audi or BMW, Lamborghini, so the customer normally sees the esteem value in the particular vehicle. So and this esteem value may not be applicable for all the product, and the use value is the one. So you're buying the vehicle with 6 lakh rupee, and you need to see during the usage of the vehicle whether you have the particular value of 6 lakh rupee worth to use the vehicle during the course of the operation or the work or during its performance a particular period of time. So so you need to see this one, and I've taken the example of a lab. I have taken example of a vehicle having 6 lakh worth value. So for that matter, you can take a refrigeration or a television or a laptop or any product or any projects or even the process, even the manufacturing equipment you can take. It can be a stamping machine or it can be a welding machine or a CNC machine or let's say building machine. Any machines you can take for that matter, and you need to ensure that uh, the process or anything projects or a product we're going to meet all these four type of value considering the economic value for a particular. Okay, so I can define the value as the ratio between the function by resource or function by cost. Basically, resource is nothing but cost. Okay? So resource indicates the cost, time, space, energy, etc. So, so how I can increase the value? See, function is indicated in red and resource is indicated in green. So I can increase the value by increasing the function and reducing the resource. Okay. So I have taken the example of a vehicle having the worth of 6 lakh rupee. So what I can do is that I can reduce the price from 6 lakh to 5.75 5.5 lakh. At the same time, I can also increase the function like providing extra accessories like seat belt, airbag, some ABS technologies. So if I give additional thing, if I increase the function, the overall value to the particular product gets improved. Right? And I will give some other examples as well. So I can keep the same functions and I can reduce the cost. So instead of 6 lakh, I can make the vehicle cost as 5.75, but I'm not going to. But I'm going to maintain the function which is already there. Okay, which means I'm not going to take away the function of or going to remove the airbag or whatever it is there already. Okay, so but I need to maintain the function which is there already, and I can also increase the value by increasing the function alone the same cost. Okay, so I can keep the vehicle cost as 6 lakh rupee. At the same time, I need to ensure that I'm going to increase the features of the airbag, seat belt, and ABS, even the steering wheel function, very accessibility users, etc. And even I can also go with automatic vehicle. So I, you can think of many aspects how you can increase the function, same cost as well. So on the last option, okay, I can also increase the vehicle from 6 lakh to 6.5 lakh or even 7 lakh. But I need to ensure that I'm going to give the functions. So I can increase the cost or resource, but I need to ensure that the function can be related to the performance of the vehicle or some of the features like the, the telematic system or advanced technologies what we can use it in a vehicle. So if you could able to increase the function, then even 6.5 lakh is worth because we're going to increase the functions. The rate of function is much more higher than the rate of increase of cost or a resource. So all this value are said to be the desirable value. So what is called undesirable value? Okay, so undesirable is totally complete opposite to the desirable value. So here, basically, what a company will do is that they will increase the cost. Some company they will increase the cost and they will reduce the function. Basically, they get a profit out of that, but uh, it's not a profit. In fact, nowadays all customers are well educated. They are highly knowledgeable than the people who is manufacturing the particular product. So you cannot cheat the customers like how the Chinese product had cheated once the world. But nowadays all the customers are well educated, and now you cannot cheat the cheat the people as you think world generation. But nowadays all the people are highly educated and they also get access for the internet and Google. So they will try to understand the product, your product, the competitor product, and can also cheat, but you cannot continue long in the market where you cannot withstand beyond the particular limit. And you see, you can take the very good examples. So here, some companies, what they will do is that they will reduce the cost. At the same time, they will reduce the function to a greater extent, basically to cheapen the product. That is what most of the Chinese product would have done in 5 years, 10 years down the line backward. But uh, this is not going to work. Maybe it will work for a few months or few years, but it will not go beyond the peak because it may lead to some of the failure where the quality issues come, reliability issues comes, function issues comes, performance issues might come. So all this the cumulative effect will try to create a bad image to the particular product, the particular company itself. So finally you lose the competition and you will be out of the market. So what a company that they normally do is that they do not follow this undesirable value, they follow the desirable value. Okay, so how I can define the function? Okay, so value is defined as the ratio between function by resource, where resource is the summation of or the factor which indicates related to the cost, time, energy, space, etc. Okay, so even for a project, if I want to reduce the lead time, instead of launching the vehicle the year 2021, if I can able to launch the vehicle even in the December 2020, I'm reducing the lead time, which means I am increasing the value for a particular project. Okay, So even the time matters, lead time matters, even the amount of energy what has been put for a particular project or a process or product, even that matters. Even the time matters. So even the time is also a resource. Okay. Okay. So function. How I can define the function? Okay. So function is nothing but the intent or a purpose that a product, process, or a facility, or system, or service is expected to perform, such that it will meet the need and want of the user, and it will also make that particular item or service to work as well as to sell. Okay. So here, what the key question that you need to ask is, what does it do? That is the key question. What does the particular product do? What does the laptop do? What does the refrigeration do? What does the air conditioning do? What does the brake do? What does the suspension does? What is the purpose of LED light emitting LED? What is the function of uh, lamp, headlamp basically? So you need to understand what does the particular product do. That is a question that you need to answer. So if that gets answered, then you can define the function. And here the this function can be applied to a product, process, facility, system, and you need to understand that you need to satisfy the customer in terms of performance, reliability, quality, and durability by making sure that you are going to answer the question, what does the particular product do? Okay. So you need to understand some of the facts about the function. So function is nothing but what the customer is buying. You need to understand, the company should understand what function does the particular customer want. What does the particular, what function does he really want and need? So you can see the example of a cycle, bicycle basically. Uh, you can see the ladder kind of thing at the front. You don't have the seat at the back. Okay. Suppose if the customer do not want a seat at the back, then you have to provide the bicycle with this kind of design. So you need to understand what does the particular customer really want, and accordingly you need to manufacture it. Okay. So and this will help you to avoid unnecessary cost, because you are not going to manufacture a seat with the seat at the back, which means you are eliminating the cost. Okay. So here I don't have a seat at the back, so I'm going to reduce the cost, which I don't want to spend unnecessarily, because the customer do not want that. Okay. And what functions are not being appreciated or required, it doesn't need to be included in the particular product. And you should also ensure that what cost effective ways that you can provide to achieve a particular function. Okay. What is the best cost effective way? So if the cost of the cycle is 800 rupees, so you need to ensure that what cost effective way you can provide the function, or what cost effective ways you can achieve the product without any compromise on performance or reliability, etc. So instead of 800, what the best cost effective way? Can I make it a 750 rupees, or can I make it a 700 rupees? So, but obviously there is also a profit that the company will sell it, but without compromise on the selling price or a profit. With respect to the product alone, the company can think how they can improve uh, the cost effective ways for the particular thing. Okay. So value can also be improved in many ways by reducing the risk for a given project. So normally, in company we do the risk mitigation plan. So there is always a risk for any project. Okay, we do what is the risk. The risk can be with respect to the cost increase, or it can be with respect to the lead time increase, or it can be uh, with respect to the volumes, or it can be with respect to the sales of the product, or it can be related to the competition. So we have a lot of risk, okay, for any project. So if I reduce the risk, then I can increase the value. Okay. So I can also increase the value by improving the schedule or the delivery of the project. So if I reduce the lead time of 6 months or 3 months, even in 1 month, so that will help me to increase the value, because that 1 month lead time I can reduce such a way I can also manufacture the product in those 1 month time, which means I'm increasing my productivity, and again that will also increase the cost to the company, which means the value to the particular product will also get increased. And you can also manufacture a product with respect to the yearly production. So this is what, so improving the schedule with respect to the production also you can do. So if I'm yearly manufacturing the product, then I can increase the value. So improvement in health, safety, and environmental norms for a given project or product. So and again you see operations and maintenance. You have different type of maintenance. So this is applicable mostly for a manufacturing company. You have breakdown maintenance, scheduled maintenance, preventive maintenance, protective maintenance. So if I want to reduce the breakdown maintenance, so that what happens is that, so instead of the machine waiting for 2 hours without any production, so if I am very good in maintenance, I can ensure that within 30 minutes the machine is going to function instead of wasting 2 hours. So what here is that you need to understand. So you are going to reduce the maintenance time so that your productivity gets increased, your overall equipment effectiveness gets increased, so that your cycle time gets reduced. Okay, cycle time indicates the overall uh, manufacturing process time, which is occurred from the start of the process to the end of the process. And during the start to the end, in between, you have a lot of machines and a lot of operations will happen. And by mistake, if any of the machines is not opening or not working properly, then the less number of the maintenance time will help to increase the productivity, and again, you can also reduce the manufacturing cost as well. And you can also increase the value by the way of different procurement method. So you in a company normally we have different suppliers. So tier one companies, that's what I give an example. So what the OEM will do is that they discuss with many tier one companies. Say for example, if I want to get the piston, so I have many customers, many suppliers. So I can get it from Federal Mogul, I can get it from Sri Ram Pistons Limited, I can get it from India Piston Limited. Um, so I have different company where I can get the piston. So you need to understand the method of procurement where I can buy the particular piston. So not only with respect to cost, but also the quality point of view, reliability point of view, performance point of view, the safety point of view, even the environmental norms point of view, the maintenance point of view. So you need to see the different aspects, even the company stability. You need to see. So if I'm considering these three companies, I need to see, are they good in their financial aspects. So if I'm buying the product with this three, with the company in such a way, if their financial stability is not good, then there might be a situation where they cannot able to even supply the pistons to the particular company, and this will lead to a case where situation where uh, the piston may not be available for me to build an engine. If the piston is not available, then I cannot build an engine. If I cannot able to build an engine, I cannot assemble the complete vehicle wherein the vehicle cannot be manufactured as a whole. So you see the one particular small part, says piston is a small part, but even that is called as the heart of the engine. But you see, even one small part, if it is not available, then it can lead to the complete stoppage of the complete vehicle itself. It means this is again a problem. Okay, so this will lead to the disvalue to the product. So you need to ensure that the way how you are going to procure will also have the increase with respect to the value for the particular product. So and again, next one is you need to evaluate the market conditions. So you need to do the voice of the customer, and you need to understand. You need to evaluate the scenario, current scenario of the market, so what the customer really wants. Okay, so and again, value is also defined as the ratio between worth by cost. If value is less than one, then it is called poor value. If the value is greater than one, it is called good value. So worth is again can be dynamic. Okay, so I feel that the worth of the vehicle, what I told is 6 lakh, it can be even 3 lakh or 2 lakh. and again it will vary with respect to perception of the customer again. So what I perceive is different from what the other people perceive. So you cannot compare the cost, and again the worth is again a dynamic. Okay, this is how the company is also facing a trouble to ensure that cost and worth are going to match to the greater extent, but again it is highly impossible. Okay, so in a company, when is the best time to implement the value methodology project? Okay, so you have different stages: concept, design, production, and pre-production and post-production. So the best way to implement this value methodology is during the start, basically during the concept or the design stage. So when I was giving the example or the definition of a value engineering. So when you are applying this value methodology for the new product, okay, then this is called value engineering. And when you are applying this value methodology for the existing product which are already in production, then it is called value analysis. So here, so I can save 20 to 30% of the cost. It can be the product cost, or it can be a process cost, or it can be the overall project cost itself. Okay, so I can save maximum of 30%, and again this 30% is just a rough figure to ensure that the potential saving. This will give some clarification. Okay, so when the number of stages, project stages gets increased, the potential savings comes down. And but even this 3% saving is also good. um, if the number of volumes are more, basically in automobile kind of thing where the volumes will be much more higher. Okay, so basically 10,000 vehicle in a month is quite common for any of the OEM. So in a year it comes around 1 lakh 20,000 volumes. If you do small changes, then you can get a lot of cost saving, like changing the material from aluminum to plastic, from cast iron to aluminum, or doing some design optimization, some material optimization, and and if you do some alternative kind of sourcing from X to Y, Y to Z. So if you change a supplier, so you can do a lot of. You can also do some of the benchmark activities. You can do some tear down. You can do a number of ways where you can identify the best way how you can reduce the cost. It's not only to reducing the cost, but you need to ensure that you're not going to affect, you're not going to deviate your the function of the particular product. Okay. So as far as value methodology is concerned, you have different phases. So first is the orientation phase, where you select the project, and we have the workshop phase. I will give one case studies so that it will be easy for you to identify and analyze to the system. So you have the information phase, function phase, creativity phase, evaluation phase, development phase, presentation phase, and finally implementation phase. So in information phase, you'll be collecting the information about the product. So what is the product is all about, and the next is the function phase where you analyze the basic function, standard function, what is the higher order function, lower order function, one time function, all time function. With the help of a fast diagram, I will give you some examples of the fast diagram. So this is the function where this LDMILs is also created the diagram. And next is the creativity phase where you go with some of the creation of ideas using the function. So it's not only the idea of idea generation, but you're going to get the ideas out of the function, and you're going to evaluate the ideas, and you're going to develop the ideas, and you're going to present to the top management with the help of the business case. And if it is acceptable by the top management, then you can go for implementation. Then finally you need to do the follow-up and audit, and you need to document it. Okay, so this value methodology is having the four pillars. One is a step-by-step approach. So these all these are step-by-step approach. Okay, and it involves a multidisciplinary team. So the team from design, development, testing, sourcing, supplier, consultants. So you are forming a multidisciplinary team, and you need to get the approval from other teams, and you need to work together. Okay, so it is not that the R&D is working differently, and the purchase is working differently, quality is working differently. So all teams should come together and they need to achieve this parameter. And it's all about the function oriented one, and it will also lead to creativity and innovation. Okay, so I will take some couple of minutes, so maybe another 30 minutes because I also started very late. But considering, I will try to give some one case study wherein it will trick your mind uh, with respect to application of this value methodology. Okay, so this value methodology is also applied in supply chain management, where from the start to the end of the product, you can apply this value methodology, where where the function or the purpose is to reduce the cost, supply chain management, and also to improve the function of production. So here they will try to get all the cost details, and they will try to get the information, best source, and they do the creativity ideas, where they will define, dash the ideas, create the ideas, and define the ideas, and they will try to use the knowledge, and they will try to get and evaluate the ideas, and they implement the ideas, analyzing the strength and weakness of the synergy system, and finally they're going to get the reduced cost in the supply chain to improve the function of production. Okay. In information phase, normally they get the strength, weakness, opportunities, threat of the company, financial leverage for manufacturing the product. So this is the thing that normally when you're going for make in India product kind of thing. Suppose if you want to start a new company in India, so these are the guidelines that you need to understand and you need to develop. So I need to get the benchmark details, I need to get the voice of the customer, I need to get the bill of material, I need to get what is the current material being used. Is there any quality reports? Do I have any manufacturing process? I need to get the FEA drawings, DVP, design verification plan, design for failure mode effective analysis. I also need to get some of the manufacturing flow charts and the competitor bill of material, cost details. So I need to get all these things. I want to manufacture the product in India. So same thing like I have experience of developing the product with many Indian-based company. So, so I give an example of a piston array. Three suppliers are there. So like this, we have different product. So wherein we try, some companies will be there in India, some companies might be a startup. So we will understand all the things, then we select the suppliers. Okay. So this value engineering or value methodology or value analysis is also based on the category called A, B, C, D and A, B, C, D, E, F. You see the example here. So A is the one, the ideas where it is easy to implement, at the same time the cost saving is also higher. And B is it's hard to implement, and again the cost saving is higher. C is the idea where the cost saving is also low, and again it's difficult to implement. And D is the idea where it is very difficult to implement, and again the cost saving is also low. So I can categorize based on ABCD category. I can also categorize based on ABCDEF, or you can give any numerical letters. Uh, so A is the one here for the existing running change. So if I'm changing the thickness from 5 mm to 4 mm, I can reduce the cost. Okay, so it's a running change. For the existing thing, if I'm doing anything, then it is called running change. And digit changes with respect to thickness or the dimensions, those things can be considered here. And if you're going for any cost reduction for a new model, basically value engineering kind of thing, then you can adopt this D category. And D is for low savings, E is also for low savings, and F is also for low savings with respect to running change, digit change, and also for new model. Then you need to create the business case. So how much money I'm going to spend for a tooling cost, development cost, validation cost, how much is the overall cost for implementation, how much savings I'm going to get per product, and you need to multiply with respect to the volumes, and you need to understand what is the payback period or the return on investment or what you call ROI. Okay, so how you are going to identify the function? So okay, function is normally identified with the help of verb and noun. So the function of a motor is to convert energy. The function of a transmission is to transfer torque. The function of a pump is to generate pressure. So one verb and one noun. Okay, same thing you can use it for engineering education as well. So basically you have the two more questions. Okay, so instead of explaining in a very detailed manner, so you can simply tell what is the function of a motor. So function of a motor is to convert energy. So function of a transmission is to transfer torque, and function of a pump is to generate pressure. Okay, so this verb and noun combination will also make you to be very simple at the same time to understand the concept as well. So this is a very unique concept called fast diagram. It's nothing but the heart of value engineering or value methodology. So this is the structure. So it is having the left scope line, right scope line. So the basic function. So when you go from left scope line to right scope line, you need to follow how logic, how this basic function is achieved. And when you go from right to left, you need to follow Y logic. Is having the project objective, this one-time function, all-time function. I'll give some of the examples of this fast diagram. Okay, this is the example of a vehicle leaf spring. Okay, the basic function of the vehicle leaf spring is to improve comfort. Basically, a suspension kind of thing. Okay, suspension is there to improve comfort. So the basic function is to improve comfort. So why you need to improve comfort? Because you need to enhance the drivability. So I'm putting the example how analysis. How I can increase the drivability thing by improving the comfort. How I can improve the comfort by maintaining damping and by absorbing shock. Okay, and I can be achieved by the help of distributing load by transferring force and applying force. So in a leaf spring, the force is being applied, then the force gets transferred, then the load gets distributed, and you get dampness and shock absorbing, and finally you're going to get the comfort, and finally you're going to enhance the drivability. So this is how I follow how and why logic, and I have the project objective to resist corrosion, to withstand vibration, to maintain hardness, to meet specification. And all time indicates identify the manufacturer. So I need to identify the company. So listening again, I have 4 5 suppliers. So I need to identify who is manufacturing the particular list. So I need to ensure that they are going to enhance the aesthetics, ensure safety, maintain reliability, etc. So I will give another example of a clutch. So the basic function of a clutch is to transmit torque. Why you need to transmit torque in a vehicle? Transmit power. How I can transmit power? By transmitting torque, by generating motion. How I can generate motion? By generating pressure, and by distributing load by transferring force and applying force. Normally the person applying the force on the clutch, then the force gets transferred, loads gets distributed, the pressure gets generated, finally the motion is going to get generated, and finally you're going to achieve the basic function called transmit torque. So here you can see the example of the diagram. It's having the one verb and one noun, one active verb and one measurable noun. And the other project objectives indicates I need to minimize the noise of the clutch, and again the vibration of the clutch. I need to ensure that it is going to have the load withstanding capability. It should maintain the integrity. It should reduce heat. It also meet the specification. Okay. So I also need to ensure that the one-time function, all-time function, everything are been met. So what is the advantage of this fast diagram? Okay, this fast diagram will help the company people to identify the unnecessarily function. So if any function is unnecessarily, then what happens is that the company can eliminate that particular function, and they can reduce the cost because they no need to spend any money for the unnecessary function. Okay, they can reduce cost, and without any compromise on the function, they can reduce the cost. And if the volumes are higher, then it will have a very huge impact. And the synchronizer ring, the basic function is to match speed. Okay, and higher order function. Why you need to match speed in transmission synchronous ring to avoid slippage. So I can give same. You need to follow Hawaii logic for the other parts. So the basic function of a crankshaft is to transmit torque. So in the AC condition in a vehicle, the basic function is to condition air. Why you need to condition air to ensure comfort? Okay, so the previous example or with respect to the product, this is the example of a process or a manufacturing thing. This is the example of a stamping process pass diagram. The basic function of a stamping machine is to overmold stamp. Why I need to overmold to bond assembly. So even this is also applicable there also. Okay, so I'll give some of the examples with respect to the variability. So this is sprocket. Okay, the sprocket with the help of the case corporation thing. And what I'm going to do is that I'm going to increase the hardness and also the ultimate strength of the sprocket from case corporation to induction hardening. So where the induction hardening is applied to the teeth of the sprocket. So here what happens is that the carbon content gets increased, and again the hardness is also going to get increased, and the strength also going to get increased. But again, the manufacturing process of the induction hardening is much more lesser, and it's not that much lesser, but it's lesser. So I'm reducing the cost at the same time I'm increasing the function here. So this is one of the example of the value methodology. So again, uh, the example of the engine cranking rod manufacturing process. So before value methodology, I have many operations. Okay, so I have turning and slitting as in the extra operations. So after value methodology, what I have found is that I have ensured that I'm going to manufacture the cutting rod without without any compromise on the function point of view. And after value methodology, I have found I have reduced one particular manufacturing process so that I reduced one cycle time. And again, the cost of the manufacturing process also gets reduced. So this is the example of a heat shield. Basically, it's exhaust gas is basically called heat shield. So this heat shield coming from Germany, and this heat shield we developed in India. Um, so here, this so you can see the localization advantage. So we can reduce in the cost, and this is the example of accessory built-up system in the engine AVDS. So you have the system layout with the crankshaft pulley, alternator pulley, AC compressor pulley. So here, what you're going to do is that uh, you- you're going to eliminate the auto tensioner. So this part you're going to eliminate, and you're going to put the idler, and also this belt you're going to stretch it. So stretch field belt. So here, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to remove the tensioner, and I'm going to uh, increase the belt with using the stretch belt. So here what happens, the cost gets reduced, at the same time the function is not going to get affected. So you might be knowing the variable wall timing example. So basically for emission point of view it is occurred, but at the same time you see here. So I'm going to remove the exhaust by VT, but at the same time I'm not going to compromise on the emissions. So if I'm removing the exhaust variable wall timing, what happens is that uh, this trigger wheel I can remove, and also I can remove the sensors. I can remove the solenoid valve. So by removing one part, I can also remove the other necessary parts as well. So I will give you the example of a case study. I will go directly go with the results. Maybe I will give one case study in a detailed manner. So this is the assembly wheel made up of alloy. So what value improvement had been done. This is the example of a Tata Motors, so where they have done the Duralloy rim. So here, you see the aesthetics. Aesthetic is not even uh, this alloy wheel. He's been with the aesthetics point of view is really good again. Okay? And this also the cost even is lesser. And even some of the examples are just for that system. So I will give one detailed example case studies. So a case study of a tractor engine. Okay? So you have different thing in a tractor. So you have the casting iron commodity, forging commodity, proprietary commodity, sheet metal commodity. So you need to understand the different costs of different commodities. Okay. So in a tractor, so they have narrowed down to a engine, and this is the analysis of engine. And again in engine, what they have done is that they have taken the example of crankshaft, oil pan, and water pump. So only these three parts they have taken for the value improvement or a cost reduction or a value improvement, I can say. First, what they have done is that they identified the function of a oil pan, crankshaft, and the water pump fully. So, what is the function? The function of oil pan is to support weight because oil comes here, so to support oil or to hold oil. It will also indicate the level and it will mount the parts, it will resist corrosion, it will prepare surface, and it will dampen vibration. The basic function of a crankshaft is to transmit torque, to translate motion, to balance mass, to reduce friction, to withstand force, carry lubricant, and also to mount parts. So the water pump is also to transfer torque and to maintain position. So what I have to do is that I need to prepare the fast diagram uh, using Hawaii logic for water pump. Individually, I need to prepare it, and then what I have to do is that I have to understand the worth. Okay, with respect to cost. Say for example, if the cost of the function called the support weight is 0.40 and if the worth is only 0.25. So there is a huge potential. The value gap is nothing but the cost minus worth. You have higher value gap and higher value improvement can be done. The gap is too higher. So this may be quite complicated because you are seeing this case study as a first time. So you don't need to worry too much, but you can understand the structure of this, how this case study is all about. Okay. So now next you are going for a creativity phase where you are going to create the ideas using the brainstorming session with respect to function. Okay. So in the last function phase, we have created a lot of functions. So using that particular function like support weight or hold oil or transmit torque, uh, whatever the function which is contributing to the higher cost, you can consider those functions and you can create the ideas in the brainstorming session. The ideas should be with respect to functions. Okay. So here some of the ideas what I have generated for oil pan is to eliminate the stiffener support by using high grade material. And they also taken some of the example of to go for a sheet metal oil pan with leather type of design uh, and oil pan in aluminum material with semi chassis design. So these are some of the ideas. Even they taken the example of the idea to optimize the wall thickness of oil pan using advanced manufacturing process. Okay. So after that, what happens is that they are going to decide the ideas. So there are a lot of ideas. Okay. So they were taking a lot of ideas. You need to analyze the ideas with respect to the development cost, validation time, cost saving, implementation time, sustainability. So considering all these parameters, you need to rate the ideas with the help of a cross-functional team. So considering that, you need to get the best points. So that best points you need to take it for the development. So here the ideas what had been selected and what had been evaluated, you need to decide the best out of the best. So here, you're going to eliminate the stiffness support using the high grade material, and you're going to reduce the wall thickness of the oil pan using the advanced manufacturing process, and you are also going to eliminate the ribs and process. You see, this is the example of the oil pan. Initially, it was with 31 kg, and when it is coming out, it is only 19 kg. Okay, so here what you have done is that the company had eliminated the stiffener support, and they reduced the wall thickness, and they also optimized this oil pan. And another example of the crankshaft having the weight of 24 kg, 2 kg of weight has been reduced using the alternate material of SAE 1541 for the crankshaft. So here they also optimize the web thickness by providing the kidney shape kind of design for a crankshaft. It looks like a kidney shape. And you also do, the company also done some of the heat treatment process optimization. And again, in the case of water pump pulley, so I'm going to change the material from cast iron to sheet metal. The pulley I'm going to change from cast iron to sheet metal, so wherein I can reduce 2 kg. So considering all this, what happens is that I'm, uh, I'm going to reduce almost 16 kg. So I'm going to reduce weight 2 kg weight in water pump. I'm going to reduce 2 kg weight in crankshaft and almost 12 kg weight in the oil pan. So considering all this, I'm going to reduce 16 kg weight. So after that, I'm going to do development, testing, and finally implementation. So during development, I need to do the design review, drawing release, and during testing, I need to do a lot of testing, vibration test, thermal shock test, cyclic flow test. I need to do many testing. Finally, I need to do the implementation, where we do the engineering change number release, implementation, etc. Okay, so just a small case study, but it may be difficult for you to understand at the first time, but you need to go for a value methodology approach. You need to start with the orientation phase, information phase, then comes the function phase, then creativity phase, where you need to create the ideas with respect to the functions, where the function is having the higher cost or worth. And then after creativity, you need to evaluate the ideas, where go to the evaluation phase, where you decide the best ideas, then you develop the ideas, you present that ideas to the top management. Uh, and after presentation you can implement it, or if the management is not accepting, then you can re-verify your ideas, or you can neglect the ideas, concentrate on new things. So after implementing, you need to follow up and you need to audit it. Okay, so overall objective is that in a company value is the vision, and function cost worth analysis, nothing but FCWA is the vision, function cost worth analysis. So for a particular function, you have a cost and also worth. So you need to ensure that worth is closer to cost. So the mission is to achieve some cost worth analysis, but you should also ensure that the function is the foundation, because function is everywhere. And the function fast diagram, function analysis, systematic diagram, it is said to be the motor, or a, or a superpower. Uh, so thanks for an opportunity. You can contact me at p.arjunraj@gmail.com offline, and if in case any doubt you have now, you can ask me. And I also request you to be a part of the Indian Valley Engineer Society, uh, and we can also open the student chapter. And I will also try to help institutions for some of the education outreach contract or MOU with the Mills Valley Foundation, as I am one of the education committee member that been which I was been appointed during June 2020 last month. So I feel very proud to help the institution as well for some of the outreach program. And even my recommendation will not help, uh, but there are other criteria wherein the academic institution have to meet to get the MOU signed between the education institute and the Rift Valley Foundation. Um, Thank you, and you can now the question is you can ask the questions and it's open for the forum.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for sharing your knowledge with our students and faculties and spending your valuable time with us. Thank you, sir.
Welcome, and you can ask some few questions. If not, you can email me. No problem. Thank you. Or should I need to wait? Or
Shall wind up the session, sir? Arjun, sir.
yeah, yeah, it's okay. Yeah.
Shall